Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures. And today we've got another little video for us today. We'll be going over what's coming in the free update 1.13 for Planet Zoo. So glad that we're seeing more stuff come to Planet Zoo. So let's have a little look at what we've got going on here. So this is going to involve a little bit of reading, but I'm really excited to what this implies. So we're going to do a bit of reading and all that and have a look and talk about it. So you can see here we've got these two males here and they're actually fine, living with current mate, things like that. But this goes into a new mechanic for animal sociality. So a new animal interaction mechanic is making its way to Planet Zoo, including animal sociality. So this feature aims to bring a more lifelike approach to the introduction of new animals into your existing habitats and to provide clarity when and why overcrowding issues happen. This will not change how you manage your animals, but instead an overhaul of how we communicate this to you and how animals engage within their group relationships. So this is really cool. So animals will all now have an additional definition in their zoology Zoopedia entry. So it'll be solitary, matriarchal, patriarchal, or gregarious, which are all terms. So solitary means they like to be themselves. Matriarchal means a female-led social group. Patriarchal is a male-led social group, and gregarious just means a mixed social group, and they just like to be around each other, pretty much. So less organized in that way. But this will let you know how they engage with their offspring. So new animals that are introduced into a habitat and juveniles that mature will be marked as outsiders. So if they exceed the gender or population limits of a habitat, if they are rejected due to their relationship with the alpha group, or a male in a matriarchal group, or their parents are present where they are social species. So basically, if a baby matures or they're rejected or for whatever reason, this will able to maintain a more stable existing population and reduce infighting among existing animals. And instead of having them groups together, so they will group together to target a new outlier and continue to fight until this new outlier is removed. So basically, instead of just attacking each other, they will attack the outsider until you get the outsider out of there. So that really shows like this one needs to go, which is quite good. And the situation has changed with them being deemed an outsider has improved, so they could not be an outsider anymore. So outsiders will also be rejected and unable to partake in group dynamics such as mating, social interactions, and playing, thus creating a more realistic experience to help stop further overpopulation issues. If you forget to pause the game and grab a snack, you won't be coming to 30 plus unintentional new offspring. So what will happen there is we'll explain there. So basically, it's a more visual way of telling what animal needs to be removed. So obviously the animal that needs to be removed will be marked as an outsider. It'll also won't be able to play or social interact or have babies. So you'll know which ones need to be removed. It just makes it more obvious. So that's another cool one. So, but however, some groups where coexisting wouldn't have been possible without aggression, such as habitats with an unbalanced gender ratio, may now be able to form if the members have developed a bond prior to maturing. So sociality will show you which animals have become bonded. So bonded animals will never fight their alpha or their bonded partners and can be bonded through spending time together or by being juveniles born from the same two parents. It is unlikely that any animal in a large group will be bonded, but for example, this allows you to have more than one male to remain in a matriarchal society, so i.e. the alpha lion's brother will be able to remain within the pride, which is something that happens in wild lions. Often there will be more than one male lion protecting a pride. Sometimes a pair of brothers or a trio will potentially take over a pride, which gives them advantages, but disadvantages as well. It's kind of one of those things that's got check and balances. And in zoos, that does happen a lot since there's not quite as much pressure to protect them food and things like that. And furthermore, in some species, the alpha male or female tends to lead the group but doesn't claim exclusive mating rights. That happens in like elephants, for example. Even though the female matriarch is a leader, she's not the one necessarily breeding, doing the only breeding, unlike something like meerkats, where only pretty much the lead female breeds. And these leaders will be marked with a crown in the info panel, which was replacing the alpha symbol, so that whatever claim they have, it is clear that they are within the group, so that players can be aware of their reproductive role. So basically, this expands on that sociality to make it more realistic. So you can have a few males in an enclosure if they are like bonded to each other, which is cool, and that's something that does happen in zoos. Sometimes brothers will get along just fine as they live together, or even other males will come in, even if they're females. So it just makes it a little bit more realistic. And also, it will help with breeding, because obviously the lead female usually in things like wolves and meerkats, they're the only ones breeding, so that kind of helps with that as well. So it just makes it more realistic and a little bit more plastic, so you can have more than a few males kind of together before they're kicked out or things like that. It's not so rigid, and I think this also helps with having animals that have so you can be able to better make or better allow for things such as getting rid of animals, or having animals that aren't necessarily multiple social groups in an area or in an enclosure. Like if you have a large safari area with like a couple herds of like springbok, for example, you could potentially have two herds going on, so they can like form their own group, do things like that, which is really cool. But one thing as well is that the outsider relationship can be lost as once an animal is removed from a habitat and time has passed, allowing the relationship to decay. So after this, an animal can be reintroduced to a group if they have never met before, but unless the habitat has changed, i.e. the gender ratio is no balance, the animal may still be rejected and become an outsider once more. However, if all conditions that are causing an animal to be deemed an outsider become invalid, they will enter an integration period, after which they will be fully integrated and accepted into the existing group. And this can happen if gender or population limits are balanced again, or the animal is no longer impacted by the alpha of the group. So this type of outsider, the type of outsider an animal will be displayed as within the info panel, so you can take the appropriate managerial steps to get rid of it or do what you need to do. And this panel will also display the time length for that integration period should your animal enter one. So this just makes it a little bit more realistic, and so you can have a couple male lions in a pride, so you don't have to have your rigid one male, bunch of females. You can have a little bit more flexibility with that and allow a little bit more character. Like you can have a pair of brothers have a pride of like a lions or something, or you can have cheetah coalitions, or you could potentially have bachelor herds a little bit better, something like that, or have there's a little bit more flexibility with that. Maybe have two or three males instead of having just one male and a bunch of females, or one male and one female and a bunch of males, or something like that. It just allows a little bit more plasticity. And Animal Sociality will be added. We'll add all this information under the social tab, and all these social dynamics will be labeled appropriate per species, whether it be pack, herd, clan, pride, or something similar. So it'll be accurately put in. So pretty cool. So null paths, this one's pretty cool too. Ever wanted to have a hidden or completely natural path, or assign style or your own decorative items? We know you have, and now you can. So this is including null paths. So disabling the curbs on ground path toggle for any natural path will now create a null path, so an invisible path that will allow guests or staff to walk through similarly unmarked terrain. These paths will function the same as any other path, meaning that the terrain cannot be deformed around them, nor can facilities or similars be placed on them. And they will only show an outline when selected for building purposes, and can be customized beyond your heart and content. So that's pretty cool. And similar to null barriers, any build mode will now have a setting drop down to highlight hidden paths that enable you to, by default, to be toggled as necessary, but you can go and look and do that. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Another null thing just allows that little bit more creativity. So let's have a look now at multi-axis advanced movement. So another improvement coming to for our builders is an addition of advanced movement, multi-axis movement. So until now, when moving objects, you had to pan across each individual axis to be able to get the exact placement you wanted. Now, when you're on building mode, the additional handle has been placed as you can kind of move around at the same time. So you can move it like up and down as well, so that's really, really helpful. So these handles can be selected to move any asset freely across two axes at once, i.e. forward, back, and left and right, while remaining locked in a position up, down, which makes building a lot more easier. So it'd be nice to test it out and see how that goes. And for Climbable Asset Toggle, so ever created a build that you're really happy with, but when you unpause it, then oh no, so many assets are climbable, and now your animals are escaping. Now this is no longer an issue with the introduction of climbable asset tools. So any object that is climbable can now have its climbing function toggled on and off, and this selection is also available for groups and multi-selections, allowing you to toggle large areas and just make them unclimbable at once, which is really cool. And this will allow you to customize what animals are able to climb on, therefore restricting what they can scale, and also stopping them from escaping into undesired areas. So that's really cool. And when looking at the animal's traversable area, disabled climbing areas will be highlighted in black, where the enabled areas will be highlighted in green, and this will particularly be useful for things like custom barriers or for creating more comprehensive climbing frames, in which sections of it are maintained as purely decorative without disturbing the rest of the frame. And as always, these exciting new features will come along a range of fixes and quality of life improvements that you can read in the later patch notes. And there's more news to come for you soon, but join us later for a special live stream, it's already been, for free update. Well, this is what's coming with a free update, and unlike with Jurassic World Evolution, Jurassic World Evolution, what happens is that they kind of, for Planet Zoo, they release the update first, and then they tell us the pack that's coming with it. But apparently in the stream, there seems to be leaks of fosses and Red River hogs. So that gives me a strong indication this is going to be a rainforest pack. Whether it's going to be an animal pack or not, don't know. I think everyone kind of hopes it's animal pack because we need more animals, but I do think we still need a few building things. That's not a problem. I think more building things would be cool, or even both. Maybe like a midway. Maybe like instead of having 8 animals, you have 6 animals, and then you have a building set. I don't know. Something like that could be cool. But yeah, I'm putting my money on a rainforest pack of some kind. So there seems to be animals like especially Fossa and Red River Hog are both rainforest animals. And people are saying islands because Fossa's from Madagascar, but Red River Hogs are from mainland Africa, so I'm not sure. But anyway, I think rainforest. Either rainforest or second choice would have to be islands. But yeah, really, really awesome. So I think this will be a great place to end the video. So I really, really, really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Always remember to hit the little bell icon to get notified of anything. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.